I guess just to start out, what got you into real estate? How did you get started?
Yes. Well, thank you. Those are very kind words. And yes, we'll open up all of that.
Yeah.
Um, I started in real estate because I was 20 years old and I was actually in my senior year of college. But it was during the pandemic. So I had X amount in savings. It wasn't too much money. It was like the tuition money that I had honestly saved up for my last year. But when the pandemic came across like my where I was at that time in my life, it brought me to a point where I realized like, oh, maybe, the pandemic it was crazy for everyone. So I was like, wait, maybe like going the educational traditional route is not for me. And real estate honestly is something that I always had interest in. And I also just looked up what like truly being what is the business that I could start with the least amount of money because I had to survive like off of, X amount of savings as
Yeah.
well. And I just kind of dove right in and I don't know. I don't know what got me into real estate. Just I really like Las Vegas. I really like people and I honestly was just in a time and place where it was just a lot of outside forces and internal factors and yeah, I wasn't like one I'm not like one of those people like, oh, my mom did it for 4 years.
Right. Like I
Yeah.
always wanted to do it. Okay, so you kind of randomly got into it, but you weren't from Las Vegas, correct?
No. So I'm originally from Southern California and I had just moved to Las Vegas
Okay.
myself. So that is also an experience that I pull a lot from being like I now specialize in relocation, but because
Right.
I was once there and that is the best like level of service I can give to clients rather than maybe like a senior client or a client who's moving out of Las Vegas.
Right. Having that like firsthand experience yourself is huge. Okay, so another thing is how I always love hearing from agents like how they get their business. I'm just super curious how do you get your leads and your clients right now? I know YouTube, I'm assuming is a big part of that, but just like what's working for you as far as that goes.
What's working for me now and what's worked for me for the past year has been YouTube entirely. Like, I will get maybe a referral here and there, but 100% of my business comes from YouTube, and that's doing very well. So, year to date, I've been able to close a little bit over 5 million, or I shouldn't say close.
Mhm.
Some of them are new construction. Just it's closed and pending 5 million, and that's 10 units, and that's pretty good for my year thus far. But every single lead I get that actually, makes it to the closing table is from YouTube. Like a closing is from YouTube. Leads could come from anywhere.
That's amazing. That's so awesome. Okay, so I'm super curious. I just want to hear a little bit more, I guess, about your YouTube channel that brings you business. Like, how did you get started with that? Did you know when you first started that YouTube channel, were you like, um, this is my game plan. I'm gonna do this and get business from it, or did it kind of
Yeah.
just like randomly happen and then business started coming, or how did that look for you?
So my first year in real estate, I've been in the game for 3 years now. My first year, I was actually doing cold calls and door knocking and open houses and very like traditional, proven sales tactics. There's nothing wrong with those things, but I hated my business. Like I hated getting up every day, and I feel like that's not the goal, right? Especially for us realtors at
Yeah.
all. And I just like, secondly, had always an interest in YouTube. I had in the past just posted random little videos about like home videos or random stuff when I was like a little girl, like fashion haul or this or that were all just like random, like filmed on a Mac webcam, like the teenagehood I had was like doing silly stuff like that. And I
Mm.
just started throwing things out there. I will say it took me a while before I got my first closing from YouTube from posting, and I also committed it just in the same way I had committed to cold calls or open houses. I'm going to commit to this for X amount of time. Typically that's 90 days or 6 months if you really want to make something your number one source of business. I believe I committed 90 days. And during those 90 days, I had a cycle. Every 3 days, I was either getting up to film, I was editing, or I posted and rested. So I literally woke up, I had not too much business in front of me, you know, and I always tell myself like I'm either busy or I'm broke. I didn't really have business in front of me, so I had to keep myself busy. So I woke up every day and I said, okay, am I editing today? Am I filming something, or am I posting it and resting and just like creatively kind of tentatively planning tomorrow's video when I have to film again? And so I focused on building the YouTube channel, and I just honestly was throwing videos out there left and right, left and right. And all of them are still up, so you can go browse my beginner videos. But I just kept putting like pumping content out, and I wasn't super focused on quality in the beginning. I was focused more on quantity because I just wanted to get myself, you know, they say in sales and in the gym, like as many reps of building that muscle of getting clients from YouTube.
Right. I love that. I love that. Just like putting them out there and then you can figure it out later, just starting and building that
Yes.
muscle. Because that's so true that it really is kind of like a muscle. You have to just like do it and start before you're ready for sure. Okay. So another thing I was wondering about is I love how a lot of your videos are, I guess, more vlog style, which I think that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier when I was saying like there's just so different from other agents that I've seen, but meaning they're also just like they're easier to sit down and actually watch, even if you're not necessarily interested in like moving to Las Vegas, for example, or real estate or whatever, which I love. And they're also just so personable and like you're just I don't know like you're just yourself, you're not overly professional, and I really really love that. I find it so refreshing about those videos. But so I know you do since I've watched them, I know you do a lot of like vlog style videos, but I'm curious, do you do other style content as well for your YouTube channel? And what brings you, have you found like which style, if either one, brings you the most business, or is it just whatever, or what are your thoughts on that based off of what you've seen?
Yes, this is a multifaceted question.
Mhm.
I would say I was coming from the perspective, let's say a year and a half, 2 years ago, where I hated my business, right? I didn't know anything. And I know there's someone's watching that's probably thinking the same thing. It's like, am I doing this the right way? Like, it's not hitting. It's not like, what is this amazing realtor lifestyle that everyone's talking about? So I really sat down with myself and I said, like, who is my actual ideal client? Like, who do I want to attract? Because you're right, most realtors on social media are really like turning on the camera and being pretty monotone, you know, doing a house tour, doing like a, you know, I don't know, it's very simple video. I sat myself down and I really just honed in on who my ideal client was going to be, and I matched the content to that. That's how I started the lifestyle kind of vlogs plus real estate in there, because I said to myself, my ideal client is someone who values the little things that I'm mentioning. So if you don't know, since I know the audience here probably doesn't watch my channel just yet, I will, in videos, I will highlight, let's say, a home, but then I'll also go out into the community and be like, okay, this is the nearest restaurant. Let's go check it out. Or, oh my gosh, you guys, like, this is where I get my car washed all the time because of this reason and this reason. And I also show some of my personal life as well, whether it's a Las Vegas lifestyle I definitely really live. So that sometimes includes, you know, going to the pool or going out in downtown or anything like that. So the reason that I make my content the way it is because I attract my ideal client in that way.
Right.
And I also want to say that there are agents in Las Vegas doing real estate on YouTube at a higher level than me, but they're doing it in that traditional way. And so I like knowingly forfeit business that I could probably be getting, but I'm very focused on a relationship built business rather than a transactional based business.
Right.
And
That's
so
really
yes, so I am very strategic in what I put out because I want to attract the type of client who also wants to, when we're house hunting, take a break between house 3 and 4 and like go to a coffee shop really quick with me, and we'll talk about, you know, their move there. But then that's also me actually really, really, really reinforcing that client realtor relationship for a lifetime as well.
right. That's really cool because I feel like that just makes, you know, like you mentioned earlier, not really being in a spot where you really didn't enjoy your business for a season. And I feel like that truly just makes it to where you're going to enjoy it so much more if the people that you're working with are, you know, like-minded people, or just like people that you've attracted through your YouTube marketing that you actually want to sit down and like have
Yes.
a cup of coffee with in between showings or whatever. Like, I just think that's so cool. Um, okay, so on our last mastermind call we were talking about basically just getting started with video marketing, because I feel like that can be a really hard like mental mind block or whatever. Like just getting past the fear of putting the videos out there and just getting started, or the how do I say this? Just like fear of perfectionism, or not feeling like they're good enough, or like I don't know. So is there any advice that you can speak to as far as that goes, as far as like for someone who's maybe in that situation where they want to start putting themselves out there and getting clients like you've been able to do through YouTube, or, you know, whatever other platforms? I know you're on Instagram as well. What advice would you have to someone who's in that position, but they're just a little worried that the videos won't be good enough, or maybe have that mindset block?
Yes, that's a very common question I get, even from local agents who I run into. I would say a couple different things. The first thing is it's weird, like being on camera a lot. It is weird. So if you're uncomfortable filming, even in our own profession, even if you're doing an open house and you like want to post a picture, or a video, and you know you do pull up the camera and you feel weird, I still feel that way. Those feelings don't ever go away. It's just that they kind of get smaller when you are distracted by other things. And even like yesterday, I think I spent probably 3 hours filming a vlog. I came home and I hated it. Like that still happens to me to this day. I hated the content I was like putting out verbally, because it was just like a driving and house tour vlog, and I hated this I just hated it, and I still scrap videos to this day, even though that was like majority of my afternoon yesterday. Obviously that puts me back a little bit in my posting and all of that. Those never go away, one. And two, you just have to kind of rehearse. Something that I still do to this day, because again, getting on camera is so weird, is I will have a mirror behind my, and this is if I'm like really feeling anxious and I'm somewhere where I can like leave my phone, because I film on my iPhone, everything. I'll have a mirror behind it so I can like comfort myself in a way, and also before that, and like see myself, because you know, the iPhone makes you look weird. It just does. I don't know why, but it just does. And also before that, I will also like mentally, if I know I'm filming that day, every second I'm in the bathroom, in the shower, you know, brushing my teeth, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm kind of doing a mini rehearsal. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to say, and then this is what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go in this room and this is what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go here and this is what I'm going to say. And I try to just like get my nerves off of it, and just you just got to do it. Like if like it's real estate in 2024, you just got to do it. And even sometimes I will post the video that I think is crappy, you know, and I'm just like whatever. Like it's I would say like your competitor is sitting there doing nothing, you know. Get the video out. It's not that deep. You look weird. We all do. We sound weird. Sometimes I don't even know. I'm like talking out of my ass, honestly, on camera, I think. And then I just post it and they love it. Like just stay consistent and get over yourself, and know those feelings won't go away. You'll just get better at handling them.
It's so true. Just not overthinking it. Honestly, I have had videos that I've posted and literally just can't let myself watch them because I will just cringe. But I know like sometimes I'll just have to, in order to get out of that mindset, I'll have to make myself go back and watch some of my older videos that are still on my channel, but I know they've brought me like amazing clients. And so I'll just have to watch those and be like, look how much worse this one was. This was so cringy. It's still, you know what I mean? Like it brought you a client. So just not taking yourself too seriously and overthinking them, because it's easy to do, but not even like allowing yourself to go there. But so at this point, you said like, is all your business from YouTube, or do you diversify at all? Do you get it from Instagram at all? Cause I know, you're on Instagram a lot as well, or is it really just YouTube that's like, what's
Um, It's hard for me to track that a little bit, but my thing is my audience will find me on YouTube, go follow me on Instagram. So the reason I'm consistent there is because I feel that I, in a way, need to nurture a little bit because I will get DMs, hey, I found you 3 months ago, started following you, love your content, and now I'm ready, or something like that. Or as soon as they follow me, they'll DM me, just found your YouTube, you seem so cool, love to work with you, this is our plan, and stuff like that. So like when I really, really go and like track it, the source is the YouTube channel. And the Instagram is just a supportive measure of that.
Right. I love that. It is a really good way to just like stay in front of them if they're not quite ready yet. Because I definitely, as someone who works with relocation clients from YouTube as well, I definitely have
Mhm.
that happen. So where they find me on YouTube, but then they come to Instagram and will message me there. And then, sometimes they're not quite ready to go, but it's a good way to just kind of like stay in front of them until they are ready to go. So I love that. Are most of your clients that are coming to you from your YouTube channel, they're relocating to Las Vegas. Are most of them like what's their situation? Is it usually like they've never been there, or are they usually a long ways out, or are they like I need to buy right now, or what's that usually look like for you?
Honestly, like they're pretty warm. They're pretty warm leads. Again, I'm very, very lucky in the way that I've strategically set everything up, but at the same time, like being honest, like I was pretty like running a shitty business the past 2 years, and I forfeited the immediate success for the long-term success of my business. And that again, going back to my ideal client. So all of my clients are young professionals, is what I describe them as, who are I like to think they're high ticket. So I specifically also film around one of the most sought after neighborhoods of Las Vegas, which is a price point average of like 600,000 or 700,000. And so that's really cool. Getting a YouTube lead that's a young professional that's relocating, that's pretty warm because they've been watching my channel or already follow me on Instagram. And in that 6, 7, I've closed $800,000 deals off of YouTube. Majority of them are from California, but I do have a couple people from New York and the Midwest as well.
Nice. That's amazing. That's amazing. So where do you see you're just looking, into the next like 5 years or so, where would you say you see yourself taking your business and or your YouTube channel? If you have that type of plan, or you just like, wherever this takes me.
It's a little bit of both. I would say I'm still very young in the business. I'm only 3 years in, and I know I have so much learning to do. I'm also very torn. Every day I wake up and I'm confused. I'm like, am I a real estate agent or am I a YouTuber? And it's really, yeah, it's confusing because there's two elusive businesses there in that fashion. But
Right.
my thing is life by design always, and I just want to wake up every day. I know you follow me around, but I just want to wake up every day, like have an espresso, have a good breakfast, do my lead gen, which is filming, take myself and put that before anything, and
Right.
then attend to business and clients and all of the things. And so long as I can achieve my personal goals, and that life by design is really, really, really important to me because I've had the business in the past where I was like waking up and frantic, oh my God, I have to make 100 dials today, to get one appointment. And I was really in that like grind mindset. And I hated not only my business, my life. Um, so in the next 5 years, girl, I have no idea. I have no idea. I just know this is working and I'm going to do more of what's
Right.
working and just keep my head down, and just continue to perfect my craft and, by the grace of God, live my life by design every single day that I can.
Love that. And I feel like that really is one of the things that this type of lead or like running your business in this way allows you to do. Cause I know that's something that cause I also started my business by cold calling, and I can say for sure that the way that my life looks now, starting with getting business from cold calling and follow up and all of that, and then getting business now from YouTube, it's so much easier to build your business around your life instead of building your life around your business, which is what it felt like for me too, like, you know, previously. So that's definitely true. Is there anything that you wish you would have known or wish you would have done differently, or just like wish you would have known when you got started using video for your business?
Started using video for my business. I would say, even though it's a very common thing now in the industry, a lot of agents will look at you like you're crazy. Like, I still even have it to this day, even though I have like proven sales. I think last quarter I was like in the top 20% for Clark County, my county. In the beginning, like, people laughed at me and people made fun of me. And even like the oldies, we all know it, like the realtors who are like, well, I've been in the business for 30 years, you know? For whatever reason, you know, they don't understand. They don't understand a lot of it, the new day and age. But when I started using video for business, I would say I'm shocked at how many people actually told me that it wasn't going to work. I was shocked. I was very, very shocked at that. And I also was very I would say put off by that in the beginning, like especially as a young person, you know, when you're having other agents, even everyone in this group, right, wants mentorship. That's why we're here. That's why you reach out and network. I would say just it's going to ruffle some feathers when you bring any type of new concept to any type of industry and you find success in it versus, you know, the other person who just has never found success in it. So I was shocked at the amount of uh people who didn't support me, and I actually had to step away from a group of agents that I thought would support me in a way because they were capped on their thinking in that way.
Oh, really? Wow. I'm sorry. That's hard, but I definitely know what you mean. Yeah, I remember even when I was a new real estate agent, it's crazy how back then at our office meetings, people would talk about like they were kind of just starting to talk about, and it really wasn't even that long ago, using video for your business and using like social media and YouTube and all of that. And it was almost kind of like laughed at or talked about in a way to where like, yeah, it's good to have a presence and be on there, but like you're not actually going to get business from it, which I think is so crazy because it's so proven and true. And I mean, you're what, 3 years? Did you say you're 3 years into the business? 3 years, and you're killing it. You're getting all these deals, and it's literally coming straight from your YouTube channel, which is 100% free marketing, and you're doing it from your iPhone, you said? Yeah, like it's amazing. Like literally anyone can do it. And I think that's so cool. Do you have any advice for anyone getting started in the business or someone who's already in the business and just wants to like take their business up a notch?
Yes, I would say that something I had to do, and I've touched on it briefly, is I had to really mentally prepare, knowing that the once it comes, it's going to come by the tenfold, the leads and the actual closings, right? It's all we actually care about. How are we going to pay our mortgages, you know, feed our families this month, make the business profitable and elusive? That's going to take a while. And I feel like that's the lie that's told a lot online, obviously, because that's how people get views. But it took me, like, even the last 2 years when I was getting deals off of the YouTube channel, it was only like 6 to 8 deals a year. Obviously, last year's real estate market was down anyways, but like that's not a lot. And I wasn't at a really high price point in the previous years because I wasn't marketing for such price point. So I would say just be prepared to, as with any type of lead generation, put in like 6 months to a year of true honest consistency before you like very much I made like this is a 6-figure year already from YouTube, but the last 2 years I didn't make shit. I'll just say that.
That's amazing. But honestly, though, even just like 3 years in, you said you're 23 years old, like just being able to do that. And yeah, I think that's so cool. And I love that we're able to market our business on YouTube and get business from it. I think that's amazing.
Yes. I have two more other things that I want to say on that note. If you're listening to this and you really like feel what I'm saying, something I always tell myself when I'm struggling in the business, because you know it ebbs and flows with everything. I always tell myself, like, if someone were to tell me that I was going to be struggling in the business and obviously in life for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, but then that fifth year and every single year after that, I was going to be a six-figure real estate earner, would I go on that path? And the answer is always hell yes. You
Right.
know?
Right.
So again, I am very much on like make the sacrifice of immediate gratification for long-term gratification. And then the other thing I wanted to say is, unfortunately, at least it's been my experience, when you stop posting, they think you stop working. So you have to stay consistent, and that doesn't need to be like an everyday thing, especially with YouTube. It's kind of nice. You can get away with just posting once a week, but you need to really, really, really stay consistent with it.
That's so true. Are you, and you mean for that, as far as like the consistency goes, like you mean just like all your social platforms so people know that you're like still selling in real estate, or are you meaning just like YouTube specifically for your relocation buyers?
YouTube, and I'm actually only on two platforms. I'm only on YouTube and Instagram. Like I don't have time for anything else, but again, that allows me to be that much more consistent.
Right. I think that is honestly so smart. Like just keeping focused and like put it, yeah, no, I think that's amazing. Okay, so I just got an alert. We are almost at 10 minutes now. We're just under 10 minutes. So before we open it up for any discussion here, if anyone has any questions, if you know, if nobody wants to hop on and do that, that's fine too. But before we open it up for that, before I forget, what is your YouTube channel and then Instagram handle so that we can let everyone know so they can go check out your stuff as well?
Okay, awesome. I'm putting it in the chat now, but it's just my name, both of them, Kristina Alexa on YouTube and Kristina Alexa 21 on Instagram.
Awesome. And if anybody has any questions based off of, you know, anything we've been talking here, we can open it up for discussion now. Feel free to unmute yourself or put anything in the chat. If not, you know, that's okay too as well. And then the last question that I had for you though, while we're waiting in case anyone has anything was, what do you love about living in and selling real estate specifically in Las Vegas?
I love that like I don't have to lie about like why you should invest in real estate here. Like I love that my actual true enjoyment for the city is very much easily reflected when speaking to any type of client, whether they're warm or cold. You can tell very much so that I love life here. And all sales really is convincing someone else that you believe what you're selling, you know, at the end of the day. So I love my life here, my personal life, regardless of real estate. And I love that that reflects in the business.
I love that. And do you keep your like for your YouTube channel, do you I know I've seen you kind of incorporate some like lifestyle stuff in there. Do you do that on purpose, or is that like do you keep it separate from your like real estate, or do you have what's your approach to that? Would you say?
It's a little bit of both because I also just appreciate watching my own journey as a young person and as a young professional back on video. So I do have videos up on my channel actually where they have nothing to do with real estate and I'm like crying in the car having a mental breakdown, which you know all of us agents have been there for sure. And for whatever reason I do turn the camera on because I might have like been planning to film that day and I just can't, you know, we hit a lot of walls in this business. But I found that those videos, those random ones, are the ones that I actually get DMs and comments from, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm so glad you posted this because I feel the same way." And it also makes you feel a little bit more trustworthy, actually. The fact that I'm not afraid as, you know, my client's real estate professional to admit when I'm struggling or to admit when I don't know something. They, and I've had people tell me this in person too, they really, really appreciate that I'm just honest about my growth and my career and who I am.
Right. That's so cool. I've mentioned this before, but I know in the past I did a lot of videos to try to get business and they were very like scripted, super professional, all of that, and it never brought me business. And then when I started just like whipping out my phone, you know, just like you do, and like just laid back, like not scripted at all, that's really where the business came. So I think that's so true. The like, I don't know, I feel like in 2024 and moving on into like 2025, I feel like those lines of like professional and personal have become, but are going to even become more so blurred. And I think that's just going to be something that attracts business like even more so because you're willing to be open and not so overly professional. But anyway, we are about out of time. So thank you guys for coming on today. And thank you, Kristina. It was so good talking to you. And it was fun getting to actually like see you in person and not just
Yeah.
on but I hope everyone has a great rest of your day and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.